through my personal page.
Nice.
Cool. All right, everyone. This is Ha with Happy Strong You with my good friend Tessa. Ho. She actually said she's like the biggest hoe she knows. Her statement, not
The
mine.
biggest hoe you know, because you don't know my father, and he's bigger than me. So there you go.
So we apologize in advance because Tessa, she's a day trader, and she's gonna be distracted a little bit. And go ahead and tell us your little tidbit of what's gonna happen.
Well, I'm a derivatives trader. I'm trading crypto right now, so things are a little bit spicy, which is great. It's fine, but I might be a little bit distracted now and again. I'm doing my best to pay attention to you guys and also keep an eye on markets. I can do two things at once, hopefully. If you hear random noises, that's coming from my side. So don't be alarmed.
Gotcha. So how did you start? How long ago did you start jiu-jitsu?
Oh man, I think I started 16 years ago. I'm gonna have to put it to that because I remember being 25. So you do the math on how old I am.
You're 40. You're like 40.
I'm 41.
41?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
the only reason I know when I started jujitsu. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah. I'm like, we're losing count, losing track of the day. So how'd you end up getting into jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, that's a kind of a long random story. I had my black belt in Taekwondo. I got it when I was in college. And because I always wanted a black belt. And I was like, oh, this is easy. Memorize some forms, do some little kicks. Hey, I get a black belt. And I got it within 3.5 years, Taekwondo, right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm awesome. Anyway, so I was working at the bar in Castro in San Francisco. I was bartending, bar backing, and I was clearing drinks from the bar counter. And it's a gay bar. So there's it's usually like a queen bar. I hope you guys know what queens and bears are. But if not, Google it. But there was a bear in my bar, and he was on the bar, and I'm just clearing up glasses, and he's like, you took my drink. And I'm like, oh, okay, and give it back to him. He finishes it, and it was like ice water, and he's like, that wasn't my drink. And he throws the glass over his shoulder, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I would have given you a free drink. But I was like, but you threw a glass, I have to kick you out. So I go from the other side of the bar, and I'm like, man, I'm sorry, I have to kick you out, kind of pushing him out. And it's kind of getting crowded because it was like a Friday night. And he just turns around and he grabs me by the back of my neck to pull me in. I think he's trying to tell me something because the music's really loud. But, I'm like, nobody touches me. So I just grab this throat. I'm like, don't fucking touch me. And all the queens are like, oh, get your hands off of her. And I'm like, really? I just kicked you out of you guys were having a slap fight trying to go to the girls' bathroom. I'm like, what are you guys going to do? Slap this guy to death? He's huge. So I managed to just push him out to the front of the club, and we have a big bouncer. He was Samoan, so I was like, he's my boy. So I was like, oh God, okay, Manny, take care of this guy. And I was like, man, my little black belt in Taekwondo doesn't really do anything for me in that situation. So I was like, okay. I've been biking past. That was when Half Gracie's was on Valencia Street, and it was across from Zeitgeist, which was the biker bar. And so I would see Kurt in the window and all the guys there, and they look hella just crazy, tatted all up. And I was like,
is this in LA?
No, this is in San Fran.
Okay,
yeah, San Francisco.
Okay.
So I was like, I did my research. I was like, jiu-jitsu seems like what I need in the close combat. And I was like, well, okay. So the next day I kind of go in because I've been checking it out for a while. And I'm like, yeah, I think I need to sign up for a class. Can I try it out? And Chris like, here's a gi, get on the mat. And I'm like, oh, okay. And that was basically it. And yeah, he was basically like, loops in front. And I was like, okay.
Gotcha. That's funny. So I'm going to share your IG.
Okay.
There is here's some pictures Craig Jones.
I haven't really posted in a while. I'm really sorry. I've been kind of lazy about it, and there hasn't been much jiu-jitsu or traveling, which is what my page is about. So there.
I did read your bio. It said that you're a lover of cookies, jiu-jitsu, and pole dance, pole dancers. What do you mean by pole dancer?
I I love strippers and pole dancers. Them girls are athletic. I'm no like I mean the core strength involved. It's yeah, I highly admire them.
Have you done it yourself?
God no, I'm too long. I actually think you need first you need flexibility, of which I do not have, and second they're all like really short and like gymnasticy. I'm like definitely not that. So yeah.
Okay, so talk about this picture right here, because
Oh,
you're taller than him in this picture. How tall are you first of all?
I'm 5'11", 180 centimeters. I am so Morocco. This is at Meraki in Santa Monica. That's Jason Hunt and Kenny Florian's gym. So I am standing on an elevated mat, and Craig Jones is off, not on the mat. This is why he looks so short. But
So
we're
how
like
tall
pretty
is
much the
Craig?
same size. I think we're the same size, really. I think we had an earlier picture where we were together in Hong Kong when he passed through, and he's a pretty tall guy. He's not short. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's like 5'11", close to 200, give or take, if he's
I don't.
cutting weight or
God,
not.
yeah, I definitely he feels he's a very dense guy, like muscularly dense. So he might not look very heavy, but he's pretty heavy.
Gotcha. And hold on, let me click out of this. So you have Liv right here.
Oh my God, yeah. I've known Liv since we were
Livia.
both brown belt. She dropped me. She's like, "Don't worry, I have you." And I was like, "You sure?" And I was like, "Well, I have seen you like squat and deadlift a lot heavier than me on your Instagram." So like I jump up and like she hadn't been lifting in a while, and I just like she just drops me, and I was like, "Oh God." Excellent picture by your husband there.
Yeah. Livia Giles and then Lachlan Giles out in Australia. We have Ekane that said hi. She's actually from Melbourne,
Hey,
Australia.
I need to
So,
head down to Melbourne. I haven't been yet.
so yeah, that's pretty cool. And then, so tell us about you. Have you rolled with both of them?
Yeah,
Craig Jones, Lachlan, and
Liv.
Livia.
Yeah, so I have ever rode with Lucky. I'm not sure if I rode with Lucky, and if I had it, it was very brief, and it probably is not memorable from my side of things. Like it probably was just me tapping a bunch. And I've rode with Liv a few times now, and man, she's just gotten so good. Like literally, she's unbelievable in nogi. Yeah, they are all Aussies. They're badass too. And one of my really good friends and best training partners, Hope, is now training down there too. And so Hope will probably destroy me. She was destroying me before as a brown belt, and now she's probably like ridiculously. We used to try and this is at the beginning when Levi he was just a brown belt. I was in Australia when Levi was a purple belt, and then he got promoted to brown, and then I think then later on he was black. So we were all training at Garage, and Ari was a purple belt, Hope was a brown belt, and we were trying to figure out how to do like all these crab inversions. So me and Hope every day we'd be trying to invert, and then we would just wouldn't be able to get it. And then we'd try with Ari, and he was just super pinchy, and it was like we got pinch marks everywhere. It was really funny. It's fun. It's amazing to see the progress and how far they've come with that style that they've been working so hard on. So, you look at them and you're like, wow, those guys are amazing. They're creating new things, but they work on it every day. Like they drill for hours a day, just on specific things. And, that's how you get really, really good at a particular game is basically just repetition and drilling and just, exploring those positions.
Yeah, and that's how like no one knew who they were until like Craig Jones like all of a sudden had a good showing, and they're like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah.
And then you're telling me how Liv is like one of the best female leg lockers that you've
Yeah.
ever rolled with
I
on
definitely
here.
think so. I think the best in terms of a overall leg attack game. Like
Uh huh.
she'll attack you in heel hooks, knee bars. Some other people like Michelle Nicolini, man, her ankle locks come on so fast. Like you can't sleep on her at all either.
Yeah.
And I definitely walk funny after training with her. And
Yeah.
there's
I was
so
trying
many
to see if
people
I
like that.
Yeah, I was trying
Like,
to see if I can find her, but we'll have to scroll down and see if we had a picture of you. So yeah, Michelle Nicolini, she was out in Singapore
yeah.
uh, that first time. I think we are both out there for the training camp. So, talk about we have Gordon Ryan on here,
Yeah.
and hey Sonny,
Yeah,
his
that.
girlfriend. So how was that experience
You
with
know,
him?
well, we met at the Danaher camp, so we both really
Yeah,
enjoy the way Danaher teaches. Um, Gordon is almost like a replica of John when he instructs, like as an instructor. Like everything is almost verbatim, with a lot more patience than John. Like John, like you can see he's looking at
yes.
you, and if you can't quite get it in like the first two tries, he's just utterly disappointed with you, and then life sucks, and then you like fall off his radar.
That's the reason why I actually, when I first met him in New York City, I got that from him, and I was like, I have to make sure whatever I ask him, I have to make sure my question's on point. If not, he's just gonna, he's not gonna pay attention to you.
Yeah, like for the like I took a few PTs with them. I studied just to go to the PT. Like I
Yeah.
studied in drill just to go to the PT. So I wouldn't like I was like, okay, well maybe it won't look like I'm totally retarded if it's something new. It looks like he'll just fix a little bit details. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
like
have to make sure when you ask him certain questions, it's got to be on point. Otherwise, he's going to look at you funny and probably not answer it the way you want him to answer it.
but you
On
know
there,
what?
but he's very smart. I
Oh
mean,
my, I the second Danaher camp, I took a PT with Polly. She's Russian, and he fixed my bridging. And this is something that I've always had an issue with, but you always attribute it to lack of flexibility, lack of mobility, certain things like that. You don't attribute it to mechanics usually, because everybody learns how to oompa as a white belt. So you either oompa out of a mount or you don't, right? And usually if you don't, you're like, well, I'm not bridging hard enough, or the guy's too heavy, or something like that. That's the usual excuse, right? But it's usually not that. It's just a improper mechanics that you've been taught since the white belt. So this is me as a black belt, like 13 or 14 years later, having to relearn how to oompa. And so that sort of attention to mechanics, I think, is unbelievable. And this is why I love learning from him, and I think he's a master of what he does, is because he's broken down every single move into a mechanical form. And I think I've been to a lot of different gyms, and I've had a lot of great instructors. And sometimes, as a student, you might have missed it when they told it to you. And sometimes as an instructor, you've done it so often that you don't remember the details or the mechanics behind it. So either way, it could have been my fault. It could have been like, whatever it is, the instruction just wasn't received. But when it was received, and I've showed this to other black belts who've had their minds blown, and these are world champion black belts, and they're all like, oh my god. So like those simple little details make such a big difference. And Gordon is the same as Danaher, I think, with a little bit his own spin and his own details on it, and his own variations of a lot of things. And his mental, like when you watch him when he fights, if you view it as chess, he really is like two steps ahead. It's quite amazing, to watch him fight.
yeah, definitely. I can. When I was over there, I was watching how each Danaher students was teaching, and it's just amazing in their own way that they're able to break it down and simplify it. But have a little piece of Danaher, but a piece of themselves when they're teaching, and so
Yeah.
it's definitely cool. And it was cool to also what was cool for you. I had a broken finger, so I couldn't do much, but listen and learn and watch. But you're able to go into it. So the person that was doing a private session with Gordon Ryan, she needed a partner.
Anuki. Yeah,
So
I
Anuki,
looked
so
out. Polly is the greatest. I love you, Polly, if you're
yeah.
watching.
Hey, Polly.
Um,
And she's
um,
out in Russia.
she's out in Russia. Okay, so
Okay.
sorry. Don't mind those noises. Things are okay. Things have not broken yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that was awesome. You're able to be Uki.
yeah. But you know what though? I've since then I trained for a month of October last year at Henzo's Blue Basement, like going to 2 days, right, 2 classes a day, and I rolled with a lot of his black belts, and I trained, and I was their partners, and it's all the same. They teach exactly the same. Mike Gemarillo, he teaches a beginner gi class, or gi only class around 7 a.m. During the weekdays. I think Tuesdays, Thursdays, He's amazing. He's like another Danaher clone. His students are like clones of him, and their level of insight is just at another level. And you know, again, it's amazing. Like John's incredibly busy with the competition team, but if you find one of his black belts, the instruction is almost literally the same. It's just a slight modification in details. People go off on their own little tangents to study, but their insights are so precise and so like profound. It's yeah, I considered my month there like a doctorate. Like if I just spent a couple years there, it'd be like a graduate degree in jujitsu.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome. So talk about your experience in that, because you've had different, you're talking about different people you roll with. And then there was like a 15-year-old or 16-year-old that was just amazing.
She was 14. Maybe
14.
Now she's 50. Trinity, yeah. Like she's amazing. You know, when you roll with kids, right, you're never supposed, you're really small. So you're not trying to smash them or anything, right? You're just supposed to out technique them, you know, work on stuff. She was absolutely amazing. And this basically.
So how long has Trinity been training at the Blue Basement with them?
I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 years. Like she'd be like a normal blue belt, but she's not a blue belt.
What's the size? What's her size?
I don't know, small Asian girl. I don't know. She's very small. I don't.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Cool.
She's really good. I like, and it's more so to the fact that I think the same as with the rest of the Danaher group. Her she's steps ahead, and their style is a little bit different. So your normal defenses don't work because they've already prepared for your normal defense. So you have to relearn the defense to work with their offense, because their offense is geared toward the normal defense. So I spent I was there for 4 weeks. My first week was just defending, like learning the right defenses to everything they threw at me. And this is against like their blue belts and their, you know, purple belts, right? I'm like, okay, I'm doing my normal defense, but you know, I'm not quite getting out of what my defense should be. So I have to relearn how to get out. The second week was basically, now that you can do the right defense, right? And so now I'm attacking with what I've seen them do. So now I'm looking at their second stage, what are they transitioning to? So the second week was basically all transitions, like learning the transitions that they were shifting once I had the right defense. And then at the same time, I'm watching what they do on offense, and then I'm trying to implement my own offense. So then I'm getting defense, right? So you have to always play back and forth. So when I'm like getting attacked, I'm watching how they're attacking me, how they're countering the normal defenses that I'm doing. And then when I get an opportunity, because the way they train, it gives you the opportunity to go back and forth and make those mistakes and corrections. So when it's my turn to be offensive, I'm going to do the exact same thing that they just did to me, and I'm going to see how they get out of it. So now I can iterate through the process of attacking and then defending and then modifying my attack and then modifying my defense until I create this little tree of how to play their game, how they play their game. And then it fits into, you know, and it modifies my current game. So I thought their learning system was pretty much fantastic. You know, I haven't really seen it like that. And I found I improved so much. Like within that 1 month there, it was a little unreal.
So there was a picture of you in the Gracie Blue Basement. It says, "I wish I had a lapel and a cookie, dark chocolate, peanut butter chip, or chocolate chip." Your morning meditation, deep thoughts, right there.
I went to. I had just gone like the night before with one of my friends, and we discovered. I wanted to go to Chip City, New York, or Chip, New York City. And I seen it on Instagram. And so we got there. I think this was on like Soho side. I don't know. I actually don't know my New York so well. West Village. And we got there right before closing, and they had one chocolate chip and one peanut butter chocolate chip, literally. So we got the last 2 cookies, and we were just sitting and trying it, and it was so good. And I was like, you know what? I can't really decide. I was like, I actually kind of appreciate the peanut butter dark chocolate because it's not too sweet, and you have that little bit of like the salty. And then on the dark chocolate, it was pretty good too. And I was like, you know, this is a really good cookie. So it was really hard for me to decide. And then the next morning, I taught the women's class, which was gi.
What you were able to teach over there?
Yeah, I think it's the one above Valentina. That one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was
Cool.
the class that I taught before. And so what I noticed is that their game in Henzo's wasn't super modern in the sense that there wasn't a lot of brimbalos, there wasn't a lot of lapel work. It was just very solid fundamental jujitsu.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to give them something or teach them something that they haven't seen before. And I'm not a brimbaloer, so
Yeah.
that was out of the picture. But I do like to play with lapels, and I think it fits very well into their concepts of like kazushi and breaking posture and stuff like that. So it
Okay.
was great.
Cool.
So I was showing them how to use the lapel to pass people's guards, which was like basically I was like, this is how you pass Trinity's guard. Make her put on a gi, and this is how you pin her little flexible legs with the lapel. And so I was like,
Let her be the scapegoat in Trinity.
yeah, there she is. See this little orange belt? She's not even blue belt, little orange belt there. That's
Oh, her.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's
That's
vicious,
crazy.
that killer.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, yeah,
No, I love
yeah,
her.
smash me. I'm ready to go over there and get smashed.
Dude, it's amazing. Like Bridget in the pinky, she like basically runs the women's class. She's a black belt now.
Yeah.
Great. She's done such a phenomenal job as building this like community. All the girls were amazing. They were just so much fun. Just
Nice.
it was such great. And they come together from all over because Henzo has so many schools over the tri-state area. And they always come in on Saturday for the women's class. And I think it's fantastic. They usually stay for the nogi afterward, which is what Danaher teaches. So I mean it's a great time for both of them. But man.
So that's cool that a lot of the nogi stuff the fundamentals is able to transition over to the gi. So that's perfect. Good to know.
Well, I think that's one of the strengths of their program is that they teach the fundamentals so well. It's not even the fundamentals. It's actually the knowledge behind the methodology behind the fundamentals. Because everybody can teach the fundamentals. Like here's how you do a technical stand-up, blah, blah, blah. But they don't actually explain what the motivation is for doing certain things. Like what is your primary goal? How are you trying to achieve it? How are you getting leverage? How are you like doing all these things? Like what is like, these offsetting mechanisms? Like once you explain that, then things start to fall into place. And I think they have those concepts already there. So it makes it so much easier for them. They're like,
Gotcha.
I need to do this so that I can, my guard to work. It's
cool. Yeah. So you have a question, Professor Ho. What can you suggest for white belts to do in the meantime or in the time that they are in now?
So I'm assuming you're like me, so you can't really train. Watch videos. Like I have the Danaher series. I get so much out of them. I will watch and rewatch them, especially as a white belt, because fundamentally, if you just keep watching them, you'll get a better understanding of what you're supposed to be doing. Even if the muscle memory isn't there, just the fact that you know what you're trying to achieve is a win in itself. So that's a huge thing that you want to be able to achieve certain things.
Yeah, keeping the mind engaged. Yeah, for sure.
And then it's like, okay, if you have a good idea of that, maybe watch a few matches. I think sometimes it's good to watch, like Keenan will sometimes describe what he's doing in a match. I think Kyle Terra does it as well. They'll break down their fights, what they're trying to do. And so then you can kind of see the thought process of like what black belts are looking for. And especially if you watch like Danaher's and then watch Gordon Ryan, because he breaks down his fights too, you can see the application of the theories and then it becomes like this like mental game that you're playing. And even though you're not physically doing it, being mentally ahead will put you ahead in sparring and put you ahead in terms of like everything else when you get back onto the mats. When I was competing, this is like a great story. So when I was competing from like blue belt, purple, brown belt, there was this one girl from Henzo's, and I was at House, right? This one girl, Kay Stevenson, and my main goal was to reach the final just so I could like fight her because she kept winning everything. And she didn't have a coach. She would just like go to the tournaments and she would just destroy. And like we were the same size. She's not like, maybe she's like stronger than me a little bit, but pretty much similar. And the reason I think she just did so well in competition was because mentally she knew what she was doing and was ahead of the game. Like when I was competing, I was just listening to Kurt yell at me and I would do whatever he said whenever he yelled at me. And like the same with like Junior, like whatever they yelled at me is what I did. So, like my brain kind of shut off and I was just like a robot for them to control me. But they were like, she was actually ahead. And I'm actually really good friends with Kate because I used to go out and train with her whenever I was in New York. And I think I'm in one of the pictures with her. She has a school in somewhere in New York or New Jersey. I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the East Coast. But it's great. Like rolling with her is exactly the same. It's a battle. It'll always be a battle. And it's like, one of those things where you're like, your greatest competitor or the person who pushes you, you make these friendships with people who push you, and that's fantastic. And yeah. So the end of it was the more mental knowledge you are, the better you'll be in competition. Too long, didn't listen.
Yeah. No. We definitely get it. We love any explanation, just to reiterate some of the short message that you'll have at the end. She also does my, and if you want to tag along, I do some live, either Zoom or Facebook Live, BJJ solo drills, just to get some of that movement in. So that way our body won't get like stiff. So
yeah,
just get a little bit of movement.
I do a lot of mobility work. I follow a lot of like physio and mobility people on Instagram. It's amazing.
Yeah. So mindset and definitely some mobility work. You can throw that in. So here's one of your pictures that you're competing in.
No, it's listen. I've been.
I love that face. Look at that face.
16 years. 16 years, and I finally got like a good like competition photo. 16 years. Most of the competition photos, I'm like on the bottom, or you just see my ass or something like that.
I love what you say. It says when someone tries to eat your cookie, and I've been saving for after weigh-ins.
Yeah. The funny thing about this is like you see that person in the background with that black. That's Emily Kwok. So she's my Asian jiu-jitsu mom. Like I met Emily when I was a lonely blue belt and she was a black belt still at Marcelo's. And was she at Marcelo's then? I think she was.
Yeah.
Maybe she had just switched.
I don't know when. Yeah.
Oh no, she was still at Henzo's before she switched to Marcelo's. That's right. So I was at House and I was a blue belt and I was traveling. I went to the Nogi Pan Ams in New York. I didn't have a coach. And I had a friend who said, oh yeah, Emily is a black belt at Henzo's. Tell her you know me and like she'll coach you. And I was like, okay. So I just kind of went up to her and I was like, hey, I'm at House, would you mind coaching you? Blah, blah. I'm just a lowly blue belt. She's like, sure. And all I remember was like, she was yelling at me and I didn't really understand what she was saying. But she was so nice to coach me. And it goes the same today. She's still so nice to coach me. And half the time she yells at me and I'm like, I don't understand what you're yelling at me. And then it's the worst is because if I win, it's okay. But it's like the Asian mom's like, you didn't do what I said, but you won. And then you know exactly what I'm saying, right? And then if I lose, it's even worse. She's like, so disappointed in you. What were you doing out there? I was like, I don't know. Definitely not what you were saying. But I appreciate you being there yelling at me.
Speaking a different language.
And it's true because sometimes, right, you need a coach who understands your game and how you play. And then you also need somebody who just like yells at you like what those scores and how much time is left. Em does both. But when she yells at me what to do, like she'll yell at me like sometimes like, get low, combat base. And I'll be like, girl, I can't get low. Have you seen me? I'm like, I do the opposite of get low. I do a smash pass because I can't get low into a combat base. And she's like, you need a combat base. I'm like, I'm like so much taller than you. I'm not a midget. Like I got knees, man. I'm old. Like this master's too. Give me a break.
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, I try to, I message her. I'm not even Facebook friends with her, but I like to get her on. So maybe you can connect me with her somehow with your jiu-jitsu mom on there.
Yeah, she's really fun. Like, we have such a great time because when we're in Vegas, she yells at me at this time, and then off of this, I'm basically her driver. I'm her and Jazari's driver. For some reason, they don't drive cars. I don't know, but we'll just drive around and we'll go to places and we'll go to like different parties, and it's just fun. I love Masters World. It's such a fun time.
Yeah, it's definitely an awesome experience. Eken goes, "Ha's my Asian jiu-jitsu mom." Well, I appreciate that, Eken. Love you, girl. So I'm gonna move on. You have Bruno right here.
Oh,
I've never met him. So how you say his last name?
Malfacini.
Malfacini. So how was he?
Bruno's amazing. Like he's like a chess master, but in a different style of like chess.
You make everyone look small. You're really a big hoe.
No, but Bruno's really tiny. Bruno's a small guy, and I still managed to drop him. But I was with other people. Yeah, no, Bruno is great. Like he's really ahead. He's super competitive, and he knows how to make people do what he wants. Like he's really aggressive. He's great. Like his jiu-jitsu is amazing. It's very technical. It's very chess-like. He's definitely moves ahead, and he makes things look so easy. He's just so athletic. Like it's absolutely unbelievable how athletic. Whenever I row with him, I'm basically his rest round and like just his fun round. Like, it's like I'm a little bit of a pet white belt, and he's just like, letting me play. And it's this is my face the entire time I'm rolling with him. I'm like, come on. Like, are you kidding me? Like, stop your like somersaults. I mean, he's definitely like 10x speed slower rolling with me than when he has to roll with like really athletic young guys. But it's really fun. It's really technical. It's not strength anything. He could be using strength. He doesn't use strength. He tries to slow down to match me. It's great. He's a really fun role. I can threaten him with stuff, and he'll just look at me like, "Be serious." And I'm like, "I'm trying. What do you do?" Yeah.
And then you have when'd you meet her?
Yeah, so she was at Henzo's. She and Halle Berry were upstairs at Henzo's. They were preparing
Halle Berry. You did meet her?
I didn't meet her, but she came down, so I didn't get a picture with her. But I definitely did see her, and she looks amazing. Like after this,
she's like in her 50s.
Like in the middle of a workout, she comes downstairs to say hi to Henzo, and we're all like, "Oh my god!" Everybody in the room is like, "Halle Berry!" Like, "Oh my god!" It's like everybody was like, it's like your 7th grade crush all over again, right? And like guys, girls, whatever, they're like Halle Berry. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's awesome. And then I'm gonna scroll down. You got some cool pics.
So that was Leo Vera. I picked up Leo Vera. The one that, no, the up above it. That one. That's Leo Vera.
Which one?
This one. Oh, that one. No. The one at the summer camp.
I'm missing out. Sorry.
Scroll it's okay. Up. No. That one. Yeah, the left. Underneath my competition one.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought I opened it up. Okay. I opened them up. Okay. Cool. Yeah. You didn't drop them. That's good. That's kind of a high crotch single right there.
Yeah, I know. And he had to jump because that was the second time too. I was like, "Oh, you're nuts. I'm so sorry."
Gotcha. You got some dog. What the heck are you doing there?
I'm doing a guillotine. That's like a high elbow.
Goofball. We got some people. What in the world are you doing over here?
Oh, that's with Heather. Oh my god, I love Heather. She's Heather's at Atos, and she's in the middle. I met her actually at Garage in Sydney, and we just stayed in touch. See, you meet so many friends in jiu-jitsu. And so I was traveling through. This is at Clark's gym, so Clark came over to train with me. So that was really nice. And that's another awesome.
Clark Gracie, right there.
Yeah,
you said. Okay, cool. So how was that experience over there?
Clark?
Training with Clark, yeah.
So I've known Clark for a while because he comes through Hong Kong, and I met him via Junior.
Okay.
So Clark's amazing. He's such a great instructor. His jiu-jitsu is amazing as well. I mean, talk about a person who's broken down and made a move his own. His omoplata, I took a private with him to figure out how to do omoplatas, and there was so many steps involved into like his perfect omoplata. I was like, I think I can remember about 5 or 6 of these out of the 25 that you just said. And then it really changed my omoplata games. Just small little things would change your omoplata game.
That's awesome. Yeah. There's definitely certain positions that people master, and definitely omoplata is his signature position on that. Let's see. I know we're running out of time a little bit, so I'm going to scroll down. What in the world are you doing in here?
So
Mongolia.
Mongolia was awesome. Like, I'm telling you, jiu-jitsu takes you places. I think people have, I guess when I started, like jiu-jitsu was basically, okay, great. You won a world championship, fantastic. Okay, maybe you start a gym. That was basically your path, right? If you wanted to be really good at jiu-jitsu, it's a lifestyle choice and you became a jiu-jitsu instructor. And then now you're seeing the emergence of people actually making careers and getting sponsorship money and stuff like that. And that's usually the younger generation now, right? Like they're in their 20s and maybe early 30s. But jiu-jitsu has exploded to the point where now it's now in the Asian games. So as a precursor to the Olympics, every country is now creating a national jiu-jitsu team. And they have the Jiu-Jitsu Federation, where it's kind of like it is the precursor to the Olympics, where they'll have like national competitions. And so this was for the Jiu-Jitsu World Championships, and it was in Mongolia. So Hong Kong sent a team, and Viking is the black belt there, and he needed a coach, another coach, because he was coaching, but then when he competes, he needed a coach. And the other guys, they're great, but their English isn't super great sometimes, and their competition level of experience isn't so great sometimes. Not to say that mine is that much greater either, but I can yell at the refs a little bit more, and the fact that I have a black belt and I'm yelling at the refs is like, okay, I get a little bit more street cred than if they were yelling at the refs. So it's basically me just yelling at the refs and yelling at him, and making sure that we're not totally getting screwed over on stuff, which sometimes it happens. And the rule set's a little bit different, so it's just understanding the rule set. So yeah, it was super awesome. I've never been to Mongolia. I was super stoked to go just to experience Mongolia. I actually I flew out a couple of days earlier just so I could like spend time sightseeing in the city, and it was amazing. Like definitely go in the summer. The people are amazing. I love the people there. It was amazing.
So if you ever go on to fight to win, that needs to be like your walkout uniform.
Sorry, just those noises, just disregard those.
It's okay. So I'm going to scroll through. Oh, we got this was back in Singapore, Misha Tate.
Yeah,
On
she
there.
came to Hong Kong afterward. Yeah, because
okay,
she wanted to. She was coming with one for something, and I got her over a little bit earlier because that was at Hybrid, and Hybrid was having a junk boat trip. I don't know if you guys know what junk boat trips are, but it's like you go on in Hong Kong. It's really common. People just chip in, rent a boat for the day, and you're like, I'm on a boat, I'm on a yacht. Don't mind these noises; it's totally fine.
Sounds like we're high. So cool. Yeah, you said that in the hashtag it says no longer a soup dumpling virgin. So you're talking about Misha. That's the first time to eat soup dumpling.
Yeah, she wanted dumplings. So we just it's really nice to be able to take people and like bring them to Hong Kong or bring them to a place, because everybody in Hong Kong, not all of them can travel overseas. So if I have an opportunity to bring in like Jazari or somebody I know like Claudina and set up seminars for them, I don't make any money from it, right? The money goes to them and it goes to covering their costs to get them there. But it's, more so I'm trying to help the community in Hong Kong meet these world champions who I've met, who I've had a chance to roll with while I've traveled, because some of them aren't going to be able to travel. So it's kind of a nice way for them to learn directly from the source. And so bringing Misha over was like one of those things where it's like, yeah, hey, you're going to be here anyway. Okay, let's hang out. Let's train. And she's a beast, man. Like she is so strong. She's got that wrestler strength. It's incredible.
Yep. I'm amazed how you can, as tall as you are, you can rice squat.
Yeah. Secretly though, this is the secret. We're leaning on the wall, both of us. Because we're like our ankle dorsiflexion isn't quite there yet. Literally, we're leaning, like our butts are on the wall because we're not that flexible.
Gotcha. So we have, okay, I'm going to pull this pick up real quick. So this is you and Uriah.
Fuck, he was heavy. He was so heavy. I was like, oh my God, I did not expect you to be so dense. Like Nicky Ryan was not this dense. He's a dense.
So here's Nicky Ryan right here. Yeah. So you picked up Nicky Ryan versus Uriah Hall, and you said,
yeah, but I didn't pick him up like that, like the Princess carry. I just like kind of like picked him up, And I was like, okay, you know, he looks like that. So he doesn't weigh more than me in that picture. Uriah weighed more than me in that picture. It was like 90 difference. I was like, how are you guys the same weight class? I don't understand it.
It's just, I'm like that. I was personally there, and I was like laughing my butt off when you picked him up. It was hilarious.
Such a sweet guy. They're so nice. You know, everybody's super nice. I think people don't realize is like all these UFC guys and like jiu-jitsu guys, they're like the superstars who aren't really superstars. So it's kind of nice where you can just kind of talk to them and like they're usually pretty chill. So
gotcha. Yep. And then here's the Danny here, right there with Gordon Ryan and Professor Danny here.
Yeah.
Polly. We get her, and then there's Misha choking you out.
Yeah.
On there. Yep. There's some more Dan Harris stuff as they scroll around. I think I'm trying to get through all this before there are some people answering questions. Oh, you're a surfer?
Oh, I am a surfer. I'm gonna have to take this as a work call. I'm so sorry.
Do you have to get off?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we have to. Sorry, Chris had a last minute a question.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to let you off. All right, everyone. We have to let her off because of work. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Well, okay, Chris, I'll answer your question real quick. I'm gotta go back to Hong Kong and then probably Hawaii to check in my plan. No big trips for a while though, because I'm not too sure about COVID. But yeah.
Okay.
Nicole, nice to meet you.
All right, we'll talk to you. It's okay.
Really I'll talk sorry, everybody, about that.
All right, get back to work. Thank you for taking time. All right,
No problem.
Talk to you later. Bye everyone. Bye.